Good day, everyone, and welcome back to my regularly scheduled Bitcoin update. We previously concluded at the 86.5K market standoff, the final cyclical support remaining for the 2024 to 2025 cycle. From the very beginning of the April 2025 advance, I warned about the structural imbalance it was creating. There is little need to reiterate that every major swing throughout this cycle has aligned with the forecasts I provided in real time. The correctly projected first volumetric cycle top occurred between December and January 20th, 2025. The second and final volumetric peak was scheduled for October 2025. When that temporal appointment failed to produce the expected expansion in volume, it became almost self-evident that the August 2024 monthly candle levels were the next structural reference. My paired comparative analysis with gold further confirmed that the April 2025 low was not a terminal low, but rather the midpoint of a broader leg down toward 59K. The final support identified in the Neptune chart I presented in the summer of 2025. In October, I stated clearly, the market was positioned for either 116K or 45K. Following the October top, which I identified as both a price and volumetric peak, the necessary buying pressure failed to materialize. Consequently, the 174K terminal target derived from the same Neptune framework was not fulfilled, redirecting focus back toward the 59K extreme support scenario. At present, price is trading above the midpoint of the August 2024 monthly candle. Failing that, the final imbalance, originating in 2023, becomes the next logical magnet. That range resides near 26,840 and 16,536, and should find confirmation in the corresponding structure of gold. That addresses the pessimistic vector. However, Bitcoin's natural cyclical structure already defines the next expansionary phase following the projected April 2026 panic. A reflexive short-covering rally should unfold after April 15th and extend at minimum until June 22nd. While I disclose my annual plan in monthly detail within my premium research groups, my public framework is as follows. Bottom in spring, top in summer, swing up bottom in October. Q4 rally extending into the 2027 volumetric peak referenced in my previous lecture. I have already disclosed my ideal cycle top projection for 2027 and beyond, $264,000 per Bitcoin. There are defined targets above that level, which I am not yet prepared to make public. For what concerns 2026, even clearing out the imbalance levels left all the way up to 86,500, 96288, and 104510 would be already a lot. The final resistance is still waiting where we left it, at 116K. Ideally, the bounce up should come not sooner than when 45K is swept, being the past 15-year cycle support, as I was mentioning back in November. With premium members, I am disclosing each month a specific energetic forecast, day by day. But for what concerns my new public calendar, the dates where to expect volatility are as follows. Out of all of them, the most important is precisely Monday, March 2nd, being a pivotal date for the 20 and 30-year cycles of Bitcoin. His fate will be sealed once and for all. The daily closing price will be akin to the May and November 2025 cycle resets. Both occurred at 96K. But also the first kind of date since the past 6 years, which gave birth to the swing up that allowed the 2021 bull run to exist. There's no need to speculate on a super cycle, as those who follows me since I first appeared on X will remember how I called for the post-2022 to 2024 cycle bull market transition to bear being a catastrophic stagnation across all crypto assets, likely due to the quantum menace. However, the last word is always to the market, and for what concerns me, if by miracle price should rally all the way to 108K once again, after the March 2nd impulse up that should last until the spring equinox, the chances for a new ADH this year are once again back on the table. As I was saying back in October, even if we were destined to score a price top and 126K turn out to hit the spot, the volumes were never enough to properly call it a cycle top, like January 20th, 2025 was. This could either turn out being a second chance for true believers of blockchain and decentralization as a reliable solution in a currency-driven economic cycle, or the end of it all. I have applied the Neptune chart over the mid-cycle square, but I won't disclose what lies below 59K because you wouldn't believe me. This phase may represent either a second opportunity for genuine believers in blockchain and decentralization within a currency-driven economic cycle, or the structural termination of a thesis. A 15-year cycle concluded in 2024, establishing 49,000 as the swing-up bottom for the subsequent 15-year period. The 30-year Saturn cycle concluded only weeks ago. It is therefore reasonable to assume that Bitcoin's macro cycle will assert itself during the crucial first week of March, when the 20 and 30-year temporal cycles converge again, an alignment not witnessed since 2020. Meanwhile, the intermarket context remains critical. Equities are topping. Metals are advancing aggressively. Trade war dynamics are active. Geopolitical tensions continue to escalate. A VIX spike is anticipated into spring 2026, potentially producing a 16% correction across major indices. The Nasdaq retains an open gap near 14,500. The S&P projects toward the low 60s. The US dollar seeks confirmation of a 95 bottom before initiating a renewed rally, potentially targeting levels associated with the Bretton Woods framework. The majority of projections issued over the past 2 years are now finding confirmation. 2. Remain outstanding. A major cyber attack and civil conflict within the United States. The next significant temporal convergence arrives in spring 2026. Astronomical clocks do not cease. We are approaching midnight.